This is a little follow-up to yesterday's video I did about making, you know, these decals out of paper napkins and yes paste. I had a little time last night to do some more experimenting with some different options to see how they would work, because not everybody has access to the same supplies that I do. You know, I realize that. And I wanted to see if there were other things that this would work with that might be more available to some of y'all. So here's what I found. And a couple other friends have also done some testing, and I'll tell you about their results too. I just went to my drawer in my kitchen with all my, you know, wraps and stuff, and just pulled out one of everything and tried it. And here's what I found. Okay, aluminum foil doesn't really work. Like, I can't even get the edge lifted to try to peel. So, yeah, for decal, not so great. But you know what? I'm thinking this might just make a cool little embellishment piece with the foil attached. Let's just see. It's kind of cool. It's definitely shapeable. If, you know, that's an option that you need. This was a white napkin. The background was white, so the foil, it kind of looks like a pearly white now. The silver doesn't really show, which surprises me. Okay, not really, you know, the results I was wanting, but still a good result. I mean, this is a usable piece that I'll put on something, because it's just kind of cool, and especially if that something has a shape to it. And I don't know. I'm just thinking it's a fail as far as, you know, being the peel off transparent decal, but it's not a fail as far as still being something kind of interesting and usable. Put it that way. So yeah, that's what you get with foil. This is a different kind of deli paper. You know, I told y'all I was using this deli paper that Victor sent me, and you know, there's all different brands and kinds of deli paper out there. This one has, I don't know if you can really even tell, but when you look at it, it's got some almost stripes to it, and that's just the pattern in the paper. I don't know, whatever it is. Anyway, it's striped. Very faintly so. I used the yes paste and the napkin. This one does not work. So if this is the kind of deli paper that you have, you're probably going to have trouble. I was able to get one corner to lift. Let's see, it's pulling paper. Yeah, not a good thing. So not all deli papers are going to work. It will vary by brand. So be aware of that. If your deli paper does not work, you know, don't say, "Oh my gosh, it's a total fail. I can't do it. She has to have that special Ukrainian deli paper." No, no, no. That's not it. Deb Packwood, who is Artzology here on YouTube, she tried it with some deli paper that she has. She lives in Canada. I don't know if she has Canadian deli paper or what. But anyway, on her deli paper, it worked. She had good results with it. So, yeah, it's just, you know, one of those things that's going to depend on your brand. Now, if you don't have deli paper, you can't easily access deli paper. There are other options for some things that you can easily access. And Nancy Wiltshire did a test on some she used wax paper and she used freezer paper, which are both widely available here in the U.S. anyway, at grocery stores, dollar stores, whatever. She had good results with both of them. I tried them last night and I was about ready to call both of them a fail because mine were not peeling off. But I decided to, leave them overnight. Maybe they weren't completely dry and see what happened this morning. So I'm going to revisit those. But the first one that I have, this is parchment paper. It's grocery store parchment paper, or you can get this at the dollar store, even the Dollar Tree, for an actual dollar. So it's cheap, easy to get here in the U.S., parchment paper. And it is looking like, I peeled up a little corner. Oh yeah, this is a total win. So if you can't get a hold of some deli wrap easily, if you can get parchment paper, you are in good shape. This is the kind that's used, you find it with the kitchen stuff. It's used for baking. You can line your baking pans with it. So, yep, parchment paper is good. We have 2 good decals off of that. And I didn't mention in my last video, I think I put a little note up on there afterwards, that you can scrape off this excess paste here. Comes right off, and then reuse your sheets. So don't be thinking that you're going to waste a ton of your precious deli wrap on this technique. You're going to waste 1 sheet, really, because you can just use this over and over and over. Well, this is parchment, but same thing. So yeah, it doesn't eat up your supplies. It does eat up your napkins, which for most of us need to be eaten up. I heard from several of you who admitted to hoarding your paper napkins, and I know this, I know, because I'm doing it too, and that's okay, but we need to use them. So this is a good way. Maybe this will inspire us to use them if we mess with them a little bit, right? That's my theory. Okay, this is my wax paper. I didn't pay attention to which side I used. Some of them are more waxy on one side than the other. I don't know. Mine feels kind of the same on both sides, and I don't know what brand it is. I think it's that Reynolds Cut Right brand, the brand you get everywhere. Last night I had, let me find the napkin that was here. I was about to call this a fail because I did get the napkin off, but can you see how kind of, you maybe not can see, let me see. You maybe not can see. Oh, that's some good grammar right there. Okay, it's kind of wrinkly and misshapen, and that is because I had to pull and tug, and it was not easy getting this guy off of the wax paper. And it gets kind of plasticky and stretchy, and it was, I really kind of stretched it out of shape trying to pull it off. And it's transparent, it did its thing, and it did eventually come off, but it was kind of not worth the effort. So I was going to call it a fail, but Nancy Wiltshire, who used the freezer paper and wax paper, said that hers worked. So I left it alone and thought I would revisit it today. So this is the wax paper that's been sitting overnight, and these are the ones I have left on it. So let's see if they peel any easier. Oh. Alright, I'm peeling wax paper, or I'm tearing the paper, but that's okay. Well, it's definitely peeling easier than it was last night, so thorough drying is clearly an important factor. Okay, that worked. Yeah, that peeled. In fact, that was a lot easier than last night. It was a little tough getting it started, but once you get it started, it peels. Alright, let's do this last one, or these last 2. This one I peeled a corner up last night. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I think the wax paper is going to work. I told Nancy mine was not working, but I think maybe I just needed to let it dry more thoroughly. Oh, I'm ripping the napkin. That's okay. I tear the edges anyway when I use them, so that's fine. Okay, I think wax paper works. Not as good as the deli paper or the parchment paper, but it does work, depending on your brand, you know. So, okay, good to know. There we go. So I know wax paper is often much easier to get than deli wrap. I don't know that this can be reused for this another round, because it looks like it pulled some of the finish off. Maybe that's just my old eyes. Yeah, I don't know. But, you know, it's wax paper. It's not quite as precious as our deli wrap, right? Right. Okay. This is freezer paper, and I you know, peeled a few corners up last night and had some trouble, and, you know, I was thinking, not working, but Nancy's worked. So I left it. Let's just see. I put it on the shiny side. You know, freezer paper has a dull side and a shiny side. I used the shiny side. Oh. Well, you have to peel carefully, clearly. Ah, okay. Freezer paper does work. Okay, note to self. Leave them overnight. Excellent. Alright, this is good. There's another option for you, because freezer paper is usually easy to find in your grocery store or Walmart, you know, whatever. Come on, little guy. Come on. This one, I kind of tore a path through him with my credit card, but that's okay. He'll just be used for, you know, bits and pieces of color and interest. There. And this one I'd also started peeling last night. Oh, see, and last night it was pulling some of the paper up. I mean, it was separating the freezer wrap, which made me think, not working. It just wasn't dry enough. It has to dry thoroughly. Okay, awesome. Freezer wrap is a go. And this does look like you can just scrape this off and reuse it, because it's still got its slick surface. Freezer wrap, wax paper, some deli papers, and parchment paper. Lots of options. That is good. Okay, these were just some more parchment. The other one. Deli wrap. Oh, let's see. That's going to be so pretty on a Christmas card, if I ever make a Christmas card, which I normally don't. Perfect. This was the piece of deli wrap that I used yesterday, and I scraped off all of the excess dried yes paste and then used it again. So this is the second time I'm using it. Just want to make sure that it can be used over and over. And it can, without any problems. Deb was talking about on her video, I'll put a link to her video down there so you can see her test run, about the transparency of these. They're very transparent depending on the napkin pattern. You can really see through them. She had a book page that she showed that, you know, where you could see. I don't know how well you can see that, but you'll just have to trust me that they are quite transparent. This one not so much because it's a dark napkin. It has a dark background. So that one's not too bad, but see these with really light backgrounds? They would just, ooh, see that would just look gorgeous collaged onto a book page or something. But keep in mind, she pointed this out, and I really didn't make this clear yesterday. The reason I was making these is for focal images for journaling by fives. You know, that was my whole goal. Of course, then I went overboard and just started making tons of them for no reason. And some of these are going to be easy to use as focal images. You know, like this one. It's, because it's dark, it's going to stand up off of the background. But some of these more transparent ones, you lay them down on a busy, bright background page, they're just going to sink right into the background. They will not make good focal images. And Deb suggested maybe putting a coat of white paint on the back, which I think is a great idea, or some gesso. You know, if you want to use it as a focal image, you're going to have to make it a little bit more opaque. So that's an option for you. You can, you know, you can leave the other layers, the white layers of the napkin on the back, but like I said, I don't prefer to do that because it causes a problem when you're gluing, especially using a glue like Mod Podge, you know, collaging it on there. You've got all of those layers, and if you don't get them saturated evenly, they start to separate. You get bubbles. It's a mess. So I always peel my napkins before using them. But then you lose that opaque quality. But you can easily regain that by coating them with paint or gesso, or just gluing it onto another piece of paper. So you have options, foregrounds or backgrounds. And by backgrounds, I mean more of like a collage element, you know, a part of the whole, not a central focal image. Okay, this is done on Victor's Deli Wrap, and I was trying to see if there was something we could use besides Yes Paste. The only thing I could think of that even remotely resembles Yes Paste, and it's still totally different, but it's nori paste. And if you have trouble getting Yes Paste, you may not have any better luck getting nori paste. But that's an option for you. Nori is actually pretty widely available if you look for it. It often gets overlooked because people don't know what it is. I find I can get it at the art supply store, some craft stores. Easy to find if you have like a Daiso store or a Japanese dollar store. That's where I get mine. I get it at the Fit store here in Houston, which is our Japanese dollar store. It's a Japanese product. It is a rice paste. It's made from rice starch, and you can see it's quite different from Yes, which is dextrin based. Yes is really sticky, and nori is very not sticky, and you can see the nori buckling the paper. The nori has a high water content. Yes does not. So it's not really the same. It's quite different, but they're both paste. So I was just going with that, hoping I could get some similar results. And you can see that because of the high water content in the nori, It buckled the paper and the napkin like crazy. But I peeled up a little corner last night, and it looks like it works. Yeah, it does. Oh. Okay, this is really weird, because the napkin, I mean, you can't really even feel the paste. It just feels like the regular napkin, only crispy. I don't know how to describe this. It's definitely not stiff like these. You know, this is not like this. It doesn't have, it has a very matte finish. I mean, it hasn't changed the finish of the napkin at all. Whereas the Yes paste does give it a little bit of a sheen. But this also, yeah, it doesn't really strengthen the napkin any, where the, oh, the Yes paste does. That she rips it. Okay, obviously it's a napkin. You can still rip it, but it does have some strength to it. You know, it doesn't just fall apart like a paper napkin does. It does tear, clearly. But it is strengthened. This one, not so much. This one, you could definitely... Well, this is really strange. It's almost like the nori disappeared. Okay, what about transparency? I didn't pick a very good napkin to test that on. I don't think it's any more transparent than it was when I peeled it. It doesn't look like that it added to the transparency the way that the Yes paste does. So I'm thinking nori is not really a good substitute now that I look at it. If you want to make your paper napkin crunchy, this is your product. As far as making it more transparent or stronger, no, this didn't do anything. There's magic in this Yes paste, I'm telling you. I don't know what that magic is, but that's really interesting. Okay. So, I think that concludes this experiment in a nutshell. To do this weird decal technique, if you want to do this, and I have a bunch more napkins I'm going to do, and then just put them in my image binder, and that way, you know, I've got them. Easy to store, easy to use, ready to go. So, yeah, awesome. If you want to do this technique, you're going to have Yes paste. Clearly. Unless someone tries something else. There's some wheat-based pastes that you could try, wallpaper paste. I'm really thinking that's not going to do much of anything either. I don't know, it might, but I just don't see how. I'm afraid that it would be more like the nori and not really add the transparency that we're getting here. But if you happen to try any other kind of pastes or adhesives, let me know. I want to know your results. But for now, it's looking like Yes paste is a requirement. You can buy Yes paste at art supply stores, in person or online. Some craft stores. Occasionally I see it, like at a Joann's or Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and a lot of times it's in the glue aisle and it's on the bottom shelf. It's like they don't know what to do with it. So just look for it. And I don't have my jar down here, but I'll put a picture up of what it looks like in the actual jar, so you'll recognize it. You can get it. Okay, art supply stores, craft stores, stationery stores. If you have a paper source in your area or a papyrus, those are two stationery stores I know of that I have actually seen it in the store. You can get it also online from Amazon. If Amazon ships to your country, you can order it from there. It is not cheap. You're going to pay anywhere between $10 and $15 for the little jar. I don't know, it's maybe a 16-ounce size jar. I'm not sure. Maybe 8-ounce. Okay, forget I said anything about ounces because I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know, it's a jar. I'll put up a picture. And you're going to pay, depending on the store, between $10 and $15 for that little jar. That little jar is going to last you forever and a day. A little bit goes a long way. Yes, paste does have a shelf life. The shelf life depends on lots of different factors. How well you keep the lid on it. It needs to be kept sealed up really good, and also your climate. Freezing is a no-no. Do not let the Yes Paste freeze. It will ruin. I've read online that humidity is bad for it. I don't agree with that. You know, I have lived on the Gulf Coast for the last 13 years. It just doesn't get much more humid than what we've got down here, and I've never had a problem with it. I've also heard that it will attract bugs. I don't agree with that either. It's possible. Any glue, any type of it, almost any type of adhesive attracts bugs. And yes, is often used in books. Books themselves attract bugs. There are bugs that eat the paper. So, you know, you don't really, if you find a book that's got bugs in it, an old book, it's not necessarily because of the paste that was used. It could be, but it could just be the paper, because, you know, there are paper-eating bugs. So whether or not Yes Paste is, you know, like a big bug magnet, I'm going to have to say I don't agree with that either. Because again, living on the Gulf Coast, let me tell you, we got critters here. And I've never had them go after the glue or anything I've used the glue on. So, there's also a lot of people, there is a lot of controversy about Yes being acid-free, which would make it archival. The manufacturer claims that it is acid-free, therefore archival. Now, the Yes Paste from years past was not acid-free. There were people having problem with Yes turning yellow and you know, not being acid-free or archival or whatever, and I don't think it was back then. The manufacturer says it is now, so I'm going to go with them and say that it is. So, I'm just trying to give you everything I know about Yes Paste, because there's a lot of, it's, you know, not very commonly used and available, so there's a lot of misconceptions about it. The main one is that it's a wheat paste, and it's not a wheat paste. It's really not even starch-based. It is, but kind of, sort of. It's made from something called dextrin. Dextrin is derived from starch. So wheat paste is generally made with either wheat flour or wheat starch, which are two different things. They're not the same. They will attract bugs, by the way. Wheat paste, yeah, that can get all kinds of buggy. Dextrin is a byproduct of starch, probably corn starch. It's a little unclear as to what kind of starch they get their dextrin from, but from what I've read, I believe it's corn starch. The dextrin comes from that. So it is a starch byproduct, not the starch itself. And that's what Yes is made from. And I think that's why it's so unusual. You know, I don't know of any other dextrin-based adhesives that are widely available. There are some that are used in the leather industry and, you know, other things, but you can't really buy them at the store. They're things that you have to make on your own. So that is what I know about Yes Paste in a nutshell. And I forgot what I was talking about before I got off on that Yes tangent. Oh, yeah, what you're going to need. You're going to have the Yes Paste. As far as I know, you know, at this point, that's the only thing that works. But your papers will vary. Some deli wraps will work. Not all of them. Just test yours. If you're thinking about doing this technique and you're thinking about buying deli wrap, I wouldn't. Since it is kind of a, you know, varies by brand thing, go with the parchment paper that you get at with the kitchen stuff, you know, the baking parchment, because that worked just as well as the deli wrap that I was using, and it's widely available. You can get it at the Dollar Tree, so that's an option for you. Plus the freezer wrap worked and the wax paper worked. So there's the options for you, at least the ones I'm aware of at this point. And I don't know if I've got anything else to say. I don't think that I do. But okay, let's start using our napkins, because I know we're all hoarding them. I heard from several of you who admitted you're hoarding them. And I am too. And I don't use them nearly as often as I should, but maybe this will help me to do that. Alright, that's it. I'm done. The end.